Hi everyone, my name is Tracy Dolphin. I am curator of hoofstock at the Oklahoma City Zoo, and thank you for joining us at OKC's Zoo at 2. As you can see, we are out in our bison habitat. Our bison will be joining us here in just a minute, but this is also part of a larger exhibit here at the Oklahoma City Zoo called Oklahoma Trails. And really what it gives you is a really good overview of all the wildlife and the rich diversity of wildlife that's here in Oklahoma. And our girls are going to be coming to join us, and we're going to point out a few things while the girls come. And as you can see back there, if you can get a shot, Maryann is rubbing her head and pawing at the dirt as well. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. She is actually going through shedding, which means she is losing her fur, and that is one thing that can help her shed her fur as well. Here at the Oklahoma City Zoo, we have 3 bison. We have Maryann, who you're going to be able to tell right away. She is our larger bison. She has actually a birthday. We have our 2 little girls running over here. They're pretty excited. Ladies. So here is our 2 bison girls, and the one closest to you, her name is Yarrow. She weighs in at about 525 pounds, and she is about 1.5 years. Our one to the right here is Verbena. She's about 550 pounds, and she too is about 1.5 years. And of course, our larger lady here is Mary Ann. She is doing what bisons do best, and that is using her horns to go ahead and get into those branches. Now, one thing to note about these branches is they are cedar, and actually cedar has a natural insect repellent. So you're going to find this to be a natural behavior, and she is rubbing her body all over that cedar, and that just really helps her with the insects as well.
She is loving the cedar.
She is loving it. And so is Verbena over there.
So Tracy, do they have...
Tracy, can you introduce our bison?
I certainly can.
Okay.
So off here, our littler one, that is Verbena. She's about 550 pounds, and she's about 1.5 years. The one in the middle, obviously you can tell, is our bigger girl. This is Maryann. Maryann is actually going to turn 19 in just a couple weeks on April 24th. And then off here, eating the grass hay, this is Yarrow, and she is about 525 pounds, and she too is about 1.5 years. And both Yarrow and Verbena have been here for a little over 1 year. You might recognize their names. They are actually named after prairie flowers. Just really signifies the importance of bison on the prairie. And you're going to see a little behavior here. Maryann is the one, wherever she wants, she's going to get. So when she moves towards the calves, they are going to move away from her. Just part of that herd hierarchy. And they're kind of working that out.
So, what are they snacking on? Looks like they have a snack.
They have grass hay right now, and actually we are going to feed them a little bit of something of their favorite, and this is called browse, and really what it is it's just leaves from the tree. We'll see if they're interested in it. I think they're more interested in their cedar right now. We'll see if we can get Yarrow to come up here a little bit. So everyone can get a look at her face and her tongue as she grabs that. And Maryann just said, I would like all of the leaves, please.
So we have young calves here and also Maryann. How long do bison live, Tracy?
So on average, they're going to live up to 15 years old. So Maryann is 19, so she is considered geriatric. About average 15 years, but again, in human care, they can live longer. As we see here, I think Maryann is following me here for the snacks. She's decided that the little girls are we're not going to have any. I'm going to actually pass this off to their primary caretaker, which is Brian.
And how would you describe the different demeanors of our bison here at the zoo?
Well, I think they're giving you a pretty good show. Maryann is definitely at the top of our hierarchy, so whatever she wants, she just needs to sometimes just look at the girls and they will move away from her. The two little girls here, Yarrow and Verbena, are still working it out. So sometimes Yarrow will be the one who, Verbena, and then the next week it changes. So they're all very trustworthy of our caretakers. They work with our caretakers every day in training, as you see many other animals in the zoo for training as well.
So we received a lot of questions via Instagram. We had posted a prompt for everyone to get their questions in, and one of the most common questions was, are bison buffalo or buffalo bison? What's the difference?
They're actually two very different species. What we have in front of you are bison. They are the largest land mammal of North America. I'm going to point out some differences too between what a bison and buffalo are. Buffalo are actually only found on the continents of Asia and Africa, so the Cape buffalo or the water buffalo. And the really big thing between the two of them is, one is you see the bison have this really big hump on their back and a really large head. The buffalo is not going to have that, and really that hump is all full of muscles and it really supports the bison's head. And the reason why the bison has such a large head is it's really adapted to all seasons and all types of weather. So when it's really deep in snow, it uses its head to plow through the snow to go ahead and get the food underneath of it. And also this really thick coat. Bison have the thick coat where buffaloes do not.
Okay. We had a question about their horns. Why do they have horns?
Why do they have horns? Well, you saw one thing. They like to kind of spar with the branches. Those horns are used for defense. So unlike some prey animals, bison actually turn to their predators and they will use those horns to defend themselves.
Right. Great questions. And do we have any males here at the Oklahoma City Zoo?
We have no males. We have the 3 girls.
Another great question. Do you trim the bison's hooves?
We do. Actually, we did all of our bison head hoof trims just recently. We are working with them to voluntarily present their feet for us to do hoof trims as well.
Another question we got are, do bison always live in herds in the wild?
They do. They are very, very social animals, so you're going to find them in large herds. The only time is sometimes you'll find bulls or the males, and they might be more solitary.
And where can Oklahomans find bison in the wild?
The two main places that have really large herds would be the Tall Prairie Preserve, as well as the Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge. And one of the really cool things, bison, as maybe not everyone knows, but their numbers went down to only 550 individuals in the beginning of, or the late 1800s. One of the very first successful zoo conservation stories was animals were taken from in the wild, put back in zoos, they were reproduced, and then they were sent back out, and actually the descendants of those are at the Wichita Mountain Refuge as well. So very cool conservation story and very cool tie-in to Oklahoma as well as Oklahoma, the bison is the state mammal as well.
And what are bison's natural predators?
What are their natural predators? Some of their habitat's going to be like wolves, would be one of their natural predators. And not necessarily for the larger adults, but more for the calves.
Okay, so back to our Instagram questions. We had a question about their fur. Is it super soft, and do they shed?
I mean, it looks like it might be coarse. We actually have some fur here that you can
Great.
kind of get up close.
Brian, can you bring that over? That is awesome.
So this is shed from last year. And this is some of the longer, darker hair you can see around there, and then this is more of the fluffy fur that's over the back and stuff like that. But it's very soft and very insulating. So I mean, one of the things they use in winter, they have all this thick winter fur that keeps them warm warm and out of the cold. And one of the things about bison is, even if it's snowing and stuff, a lot of times you'll see snow on them because this is so insulating, their body heat won't melt the snow. So it just sits up there on top of them. And they may look really cold, but they're completely warm. And then in the springtime, they start shedding it, which they are just starting to do that. You can see some of the fur coming off there at the bottom and stuff. So we have a couple of different spots that we let them help them rub that off, and that's down there. These bristle things we have on the post down there, and then there's a red one over here to your left that they use. You can already see that they have some fur scratched off, but they will lose it in big chunks like this, and sometimes like even bigger chunks.
What should an Oklahoman do if they're over at the Wichita Mountains and they see a bison? Are they dangerous?
View them from afar. So it's very quite common. The bison are used to people, but you definitely don't want to be on foot and approach them. They may look very calm and eating. They can turn around. They can run up to 35 miles per hour. During mating season or when the bulls are in rut, it's a very dangerous time as well. So keep your distance, take your pictures. They're just beautiful animals to see.
So Brian, we had somebody ask, you were talking about the fur. Do our girls like to be outside in all seasons?
They do. This time of year is kind of that transition time where they still have that winter coat on and it's getting warm. And some of these warmer days like this, you will see them be kind of extra hot. They'll have to start panning to kind of get some of that heat out of their body. But they are built, they are from the prairies of Oklahoma and farther north, so they are completely adapted to all our types of weather. And oftentimes in the snow and the rain, they'll just be out here laying down, chilling and eating their grass and being perfectly content.
So when they're not laying down and sleeping, what's their favorite type of enrichment? Do they play a lot?
I would say our little girls play a little bit. When they have too much energy, they run around the yard as well together. But you'll see we have a big ball in the yard for them, so they like to push that around. And as we give them trees as well, and that's one of their favorite enrichments, they will actually take those trees and they'll throw them up in the air. Some other enrichment that we give them, or just daily, is the sand in the back. They like to take sand baths. So when he comes, you'll see them kind of rolling on one side and another. Really helps take care of their coat as well as protects and gets the insects off of them as well. And we also have mud wallows. So in summer, they like to go sit in their mud wallows as well. So those are some of the activities that we have for the bison. And you can see that Verbena has not really left her cedar tree.
Yeah.
She's finding that to be very, very enriching for her right now.
And can you tell our viewers, if they visit the zoo, where can they find the bison?
Sure, our bison are right next to the Joan Kirkpatrick Animal Hospital in the Oklahoma Trails, and we're right next to the bears as well. So we're kind of in between that, right across from the zebra.
All right. And Tracy, do you have a favorite fun fact about bison?
Oh, there's lots of fun facts. One of the things, like I already mentioned, they can run up to 35 miles an hour, which you wouldn't think that they could get up to that many speeds. They also do something they try, which is pronking, which is they run and then they bounce off of all four legs, which is really cute to see our bison. Well, they're not calves anymore, but our young calves do as well. And I just think the overall, if you look at Maryann, she's about 1,300 pounds, so she's very large for a female bison.
And is it true that bison are the OKC Thunder's mascot?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Well, they're the Oklahoma state animal, and also they are the national mammal as well. So they do have quite the connection to the North America.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Tracy, before we go, can you introduce our bison again?
I certainly can. So our big girl right here is Maryann. She's going to have a birthday here in just a couple weeks. She's going to turn 19 years old. Our bison here in the middle is Verbena. She's a year and a half. She weighs about 525 pounds. And then all the way at the end is Yarrow. And she too is a year and a half and weighs about 525 pounds.
Okay, thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in.
We have a couple of guests.
Oh, yes, we do.
What do you have,
guest
Brian?
appearance here. So these guys I just got out of the yard just before it started. These are actually dung beetles. They're actually very colorful. The one here in the front is a male with this big horn. And we have a female here who's ready to go back to the yard, which we will let them back out there
In
to
the
do
habitat?
their thing. But
Awesome.
it's one of the insects here in Oklahoma that takes care of all of the droppings and stuff that would be out there.
And how fitting they were in Oklahoma Trails. All right, well, thanks for that guest appearance from our dung beetles, and we want to thank you all for tuning in and meeting Maryann, Verbena, and Yarrow. Please tune in tomorrow at 2. We are featuring our goats in the barnyard. And for now, we're going to say goodbye, and we hope you encourage your friends to follow us on social media.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.